My name is Jack Judge, and I will be taking care of the introduction of this presentation, as well as the cultural artifacts and the espoused versus the enacted values.
All right, my name is Nicholas Hubenthal, and this is the team project presentation for BBA 360. Today for our presentation, we're going to be going over the inside culture, leadership, and organizational practices for Walmart.
Hey, this is Gabriel Wieczorek. I'm a part of Team 2, and I'll be doing the presentation on decision making and innovation, and then the conclusion.
All right, so myself, Jack, Nick, and Gabriel did our project on Walmart and the culture around, kind of surrounding Walmart, and the organizational practices. So that being said, this is Inside Walmart, Culture, Leadership, and Organizational Practices. To start off with, Walmart Incorporated is the largest retailer by venue. That is no secret. They kind of dominate in that industry. You do have a lot of, notable competitors, but there's not really anything like Walmart. They do offer some of the lowest prices that you can find, and you can find one pretty much everywhere. The company is a pretty strong example for analyzing corporate culture and behavior. They are now, of course, a global retail empire, but they did have humble beginnings in rural Arkansas. Walmart's culture drives their operations, their leadership, and their customer service. So this presentation will explore a bunch of factors about Walmart. We're going to look at their cultural artifacts, their espoused values, and how those espoused values may differ from their actual enacted values, the leadership styles, the communication methods, and their overall decision-making process. Our goal is to pretty much understand why and how Walmart's culture has contributed to, their underlying global success as as the largest retailer by venue. Walmart's culture is shaped by both visible and invisible cultural artifacts. Some of these artifacts include their slogans, the language of employees, some behaviors that's seen around the workplace, and the store design, the layouts of the stores. So these elements can communicate, Walmart's identity in the industry, and it can reinforce their company values. Walmart's most well-known slogan is very familiar with all of us: save money, live better. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've definitely seen this on, uniforms, in all of their marketing. Everyone's seen a Walmart commercial where it, pops up the logo, says save money, live better. And I think they absolutely stand to that. That save money, live better saying strongly reinforces their mission of affordable goods. And another notable thing here is that employees of Walmart aren't really referred to as, staff. They're associates or team members. I've personally, when I was younger, when I was applying for jobs, Walmart was one of them, and I did notice that a while ago. It being, associate or team member. It's not like stalker or anything like that. This is a great way for Walmart to promote equality and kind of that overall teamwork mindset that, shows their success. The store layout reflects kind of Walmart's core company values. One of that being convenience to the customer, for sure. You have wide aisles. I've been in grocery stores several times where the aisles can't fit two people going in two different directions, and that personally bugs me. So Walmart does do that for convenience. And the self-checkout stations also. That promotes a, very fast and kind of cost-efficient service, as you're not paying, individual employees to be scanning and bagging and all that. You give that to the customer. Their physical environment reinforces their efficiency and operational performance. One of their big cultural legends that I found was the founder, Sam Walton. He was known for driving a really old, like beat up Chevy pickup truck. And so they use that story to kind of reflect and promote grounded values. You know, he sounded like a humble guy. And even in that success, he was still driving that car. So yeah, they passed on the story in training as kind of a model behavior for all the managers and all the employees. So these cultural artifacts, they align with Walmart's employees everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in rural Arkansas or, California. The associates are all guided by the same core principles, expectations, and sense of purpose. Now we're going to look into the espoused and enacted values. Walmart's espoused values are kind of what they say that they believe in, kind of like those core values that we were talking about earlier. These values guide strategic decisions, employee behavior, and brand identity. So when we look at espoused values and we compare them to the actual enacted values, we can kind of determine how Walmart aligns with their culture and if it's working, and we can find those areas for improvement. So Walmart's espoused versus their enacted values. Walmart's mission is to save people money so that they can live better. That's seen in their slogan, it's seen in their mission statement, and it's seen in their vision statement. This drives their supply chain strategy, as well as low cost of operations and their pricing strategy. Walmart's vision is to be the destination for customers to go and save money no matter what their lifestyle is or no matter how they choose to shop. You can see this in several of their convenience items like their mobile app, their online order pickup, which is super convenient to the customer, and their delivery service. Their core values are service to the customer, respect to individuals, and act with integrity. So despite these strong core values, there are definitely some inconsistencies that we've seen in the past. Walmart has faced criticism over fair wages as well as employee treatment. So that being said, they did respond pretty quickly by raising their minimum wage for employees and introducing education and leadership programs. So, like we said, when we compare these espoused versus enacted values, we kind of see, how aligned they are. So, like many large corporations, they do seem like they're centered around their values, but may face challenges aligning them to the everyday practice. It's something that's super common with these large corporations. We've seen it before. We'll probably continue to see it, but we have to give Walmart props for correcting it rather quickly.
Leadership styles in their practice at Walmart are transformational. So the CEO inspires innovation and change. They want people to be able to step out of their comfort zone and, embrace the idea that nothing is going to be the same, and going out of your comfort zone is going to be what helps you, improve as an employee. Transactional. Store managers focus on performance and efficiency. So when it comes to the transactional leadership, it's get out what you put in. It's while these store managers are focusing on performance, they want to make sure that, they're getting the best employees who can come through and do their job while maintaining a good, standard of overall values, maintaining their values for the corporation. Servant. So they prioritize associates' well-being and development. They want their main workers, the people who run the floor and whatnot, to be happy, to be taken care of, and they want them to know that they have opportunities to grow inside the company. Leadership shifts styles as needed. So situational, right? Leaderships, when you come into that leadership position, you're always met with the option to switch up how you interact with your crew, because that's a big part of leadership, is being able to train different ways. It's something that, a lot of people need to be able to handle as a situational leadership practice, because if they can't, it's a lot harder to manage, and you're going to run into a lot of bumps along the way, because people aren't going to be as open or understanding to the style that you might be teaching. And then they have an emphasis on emotional intelligence in training. So maintaining the understanding of how people handle certain situations. It's something that as a manager you need to be able to pick up on and really make sure that you're grabbing a hold of when the situation arises, because if you handle it wrong, it can lead down a whole rabbit hole of issues for a lot of employees, especially in Walmart, because they're so big. It's really easy for one thing to start at the top and trickle its way down, because we've all played telephone when we were growing up. Something can be misconstrued hugely. So it's a really big emphasis on emotional intelligence, is being able to understand your crew, your people that you have working with you. Teamwork, communication, and conflict management. So when it comes to teamwork, cross-functional teams with clear roles. How it is you go in, you know what you're supposed to do, you know what's expected of you, you get your job done, and you go home. Communication, real-time tools, and open-door policies, meaning that there is no such thing as narking on your other employees or narking on your coworkers, or if you feel uncomfortable, you have an option to go talk to management. These open door policies, meaning that no one is exempt from saying how they feel, and that's how it should be. No one should ever feel like they can't talk to somebody about a situation that's happening at work. Conflict management, collaborative early resolution strategies. So this is big, because in a leadership position, if you don't understand conflict management, things will fall apart quickly. It's something that's very important, especially when it comes to Walmart, because you have so many employees below you that work under you in just one Walmart. It would be insane if you didn't have any kind of conflict management. Constructive conflict encouraged for innovation. So being able to handle conflict is something that a lot of people struggle with. Being able to give constructive conflict is something that's harder to do, because someone has to be receptive. So if they can't and they're not receptive, it's really just not going to end well. And then HR supports with training and meditation. So Walmart has this thing where their HR supports taking little breaks that are not scheduled, but for you to mentally reset. It's a good mental reset. It's a good way to mentally get things back to where you want them, and to just take a little time off, because being on the floor can be stressful. Dealing with people can be stressful. Customer service is stressful.
Just some bullets from the decision-making and innovation portion that I'll be covering is the centralized corporate decision-making for strategy and finance, and then the decentralized store-level autonomy for operations, data-driven decisions supported by analytics and forecasting, and then the associates involved in certain feedback systems and improvement initiatives. And then I'll also be covering the conclusion that kind of wraps this presentation together. What I like about Walmart is it utilizes a hybrid decision-making structure, which combines centralized and localized operational autonomy. But at the corporate level, executives and senior leadership teams make large-scale decisions involving pricing strategies, supply chain logistics, and certain technology investments. I think a lot of these decisions are heavily data-driven, relying on those data analytics and certain performance metrics. For an example, Walmart uses a certain predictive analytics in an AI system, which helps executives make cost-effective inventory and stocking decisions. And then on a more local level, like the local Walmart store managers and department supervisors have a certain autonomy to make the day-to-day operational decisions, which is, I think, very, very nice for a company as big as Walmart. And then also Walmart values input from store-level associates, which sometimes isn't something that certain companies do. And they have like an open-door feedback policy, which is nice. They also promote creativity across the organization, especially in departments such as the technology and sustainability. Innovations like the self-checkout systems, mobile pickup, and even drone delivery pilots. So they've come a long way in technology advancements, and especially during COVID, when curbside pickup started to become a big thing. I think Walmart kind of started a lot of the curbside pickup during that time, and it's still currently involved in that. And then, so for the conclusion, to wrap it all up, the Walmart's organizational culture is very complex and it's forever evolving. It certainly has built a culture based on affordability. I think everyone who really shops at Walmart can contest that their prices are kind of unmatched to a lot of other grocery stores. But it's efficiency and service as well. And then, of course, it's just iconic, right? Like, you see that Walmart logo or slogan and everything, and you just know. So it's been around for a while. And then throughout the paper and the presentation, we explored how Walmart's values aligned with its behaviors, and then the strengths and opportunities that a lot of individuals who work there at Walmart have. And their commitment to their values, such as integrity and respect. And then Walmart also continues to evolve through increasing their wages for their workers and certain education initiatives for them to continue to progress in their career and anything else that they want to pursue on the outside. And also their leadership team within Walmart is very diverse, incorporating different leadership styles and kind of people from all over. And I think it directly contributes to the decision-making and the employee motivation across the organization. And then kind of to tie it all up, Walmart's decision-making process shows the balance between structure and flexibility. Their strategic decisions, which of course is driven by all the data and corporate leadership, to increase their communication from top to bottom, making sure that the lowest level is still tied into everything. And then by combining its foundational values with its adaptive leadership and decision-making, I think that's why they're still a global leader in retail. And it's continuously growing to this day, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.